Oh god. Hello everyone, I'm Recv5.
I'm Sandman099.
And welcome back to, well, it's going to be Madden NFL 2005, but we're going to do a quick intro with Playmaker Football again.
Yep. And so we're going to talk a little bit today about special teams and also AI programming.
Okay.
Okay. So basically, what we're going to do here is we're going to open up our playbook for our team, the Donkeys, here. Okay. And we're going to go to our special teams, and these are the default special teams. So you have a block kick formation here on defense.
Yep.
And on offense, we have in here, we have a field goal. And you'll also notice that there's a field goal last minute. Okay. And the way that they did those, not the way that I would do them. So we'll modify that a little bit after we've had a look at this.
All right.
So basically, with a field goal play here, you've got all of your tight ends and your running backs and your offensive linemen here, all with pass blocking assignments. And then this guy, by the looks of it, is your wide receiver one, which is an interesting choice for a holder. But anyway, and then we'll have a look at the kicker here. And we got a fairly good kicker. As far as kickers go, you don't have to really be very, very smart to be a kicker, I don't think. But you do need to have discipline, and strength, of course, will determine his kick length.
Yep.
Right? And speed can be important, and we'll get into why here in a bit. Okay? So anyway, Tim Big Hoof here is about average speed, I guess, for a kicker. I see lots of kickers like the Demon's kicker that only has 25 speed and stuff like that, right? And other kickers, like for the Norsemen, have like 100 speed.
Yeah, so they get down there and they cover their own kicks.
Yeah, so they get down there and they cover their... Well, the Norsemen, though, have a tendency to try an onside kick almost any time, right? You know, like they're that team.
Oh, okay.
Remember, if you remember them, right?
Yep.
It's like you're playing, you're watching your team play, and the opening kickoff is an onside kick, and you're going, "What the hell are they doing?" I remember that actually. You went, "What the hell are they doing?"
Yep.
Anyway, we'll get back to the thing at hand here. So you'll notice that the kicker, in particular, like the center, you have to actually draw the snap, and you have to do this for shotgun snaps as well.
Yep.
If the quarterback lines up right under center, you don't have to draw a line from the center to the quarterback. It's just that transfer is assumed. But on longer snaps like this, like you have to actually draw the path of the ball for the snap.
Yeah, because what if it was a direct running back snap or something?
That's right. And you can actually do direct snaps to running backs in this game. But anyway, the kicker basically has a single pause, and then he runs toward where the holder will place the ball, right?
Yep.
And then you use the foot command here to do a kick. Okay. And again, this has a directional component as well, because if you're drawing kickoff or punt plays, well, then you want to draw a line which shows the intended path of the ball.
Yep. But
in this case, you just want him to kick the ball through the uprights for extra points or field goals. And so if we go to the practice field here, of course, and you can see that we're all set up, but we have to go into the options, and we'll set ourselves 31 at the 31-yard line, okay? And the reason that I set at the 31-yard line is because I've discovered, through experience, that any kicker with a 100, even with 100 strength, the furthest that they can kick a field goal with this particular play drawn this way is from the 31-yard line. Whoops. Okay, somebody mishandled the snap there,
except for when your wide receiver fumbles the snap.
Yeah, well, he dropped it, yeah. So anyway, here we go. There's the field goal. The field goal is good, and it's a 49-yard field goal. So that's the furthest that you can kick a field goal
with the default play.
With the standard play. Now, so if we have a look here also at the defense, right, you'll notice that they have, like pass rush assignments essentially. And then these guys here that are playing a little ways back on the block play, I guess they're in case there's like a fake field goal run or something like that, right?
Yep.
But these are all hand-drawn pass, like these guys follow as well, right? And other teams like the Norsemen or the Vandals or the Demons or whatever have their own specialized, and the Valkyrie are actually another team that come with this game, actually have a very good field goal block play.
Okay.
Yeah. This one is just the generic out of the box one, but I've seen the Valkyrie actually block field goals fairly regularly with their play.
They're like special teams plus out there.
Yeah. But anyway, what you can do in order to get a little extra distance here is you can select your kicker, and we'll go snip and then snip again, and we'll add one there. 3 pauses. Okay.
Okay.
And then we'll draw his whoops. Get back there. We'll draw his little path up to the where the holder is going to be holding the ball again, right? And we'll give it a boot. So basically what that's going to do is it's going to make the kicker pause longer, okay? Which will allow you to get a little bit further kick. So if we run this. Now, as you can see, at first, with the standard kick play, he was just barely clearing the goalposts, right?
Yep.
Whereas that one there, he kicked it right out, like off the top of the screen. So now let's see how far out you can go. Let's try from the 35-yard line, okay? And see if we can kick a field goal that far. Yes, we can. So that's a 53-yard field goal, right?
Yep.
And let's see if we can get one from, we'll go out to, let's say the 37-yard line now, right? We'll go up by a couple. We'll see if we can find the outer limit. Okay, so he can kick a 55-yard field goal, right?
Yep.
So let's go to the 39-yard line. Okay, that one was a little off target, but I think it was long enough, right?
That one's straighter.
Yeah. Okay, so he can kick a 57-yard field goal, right?
Yep.
So let's make this, say, the 40-yard line now. Okay, that one's going to miss right. It looks like it was long enough, though. Just barely long enough. He can barely kick it 58-yard field goal, right?
Yep.
So let's try the 41 and see if that's the limit. Maybe the 40-yard line is the limit, and that's it, right? Okay. It's straight. Let's see if it's long enough. It is.
It is.
A 59-yard field goal. Okay. So we're getting into some pretty long-range field goals here. Let's try 42. See if we can kick a 60-yarder, hey? Oh, that one's going to miss.
To the right.
Wow, it was actually quite short, too. Okay. No. Okay, so 59 yards is the limit.
I mean, it might be 60 if you were to kick it perfectly straight down the hash marks.
Maybe.
But
I would say that...
the majority of the time, no.
No, that one was just a little bit short again, right?
Yeah.
So I would say the 40-yard line is the max, right? Or the 41-yard line, right? Yeah. So if you can make it to your opponent's 41-yard line and you have this field goal play set up this way
with this kicker,
with a kicker that has characteristics similar to this guy, then you can kick a, what was it, a 59-yard field
59-yard field goal.
Okay. But you cannot kick a 60-yard field goal. And actually, the Donkeys kicker is as good as anybody in this game, right? Like he's a pretty good kicker. But anyway, there are of course drawbacks to this, and you know what? With this defensive set of personnel, they're not the greatest, and also the standard block play is, you know, like it could be improved upon, right?
Yep.
But what the successful block plays do is they figure out how to get a guy through the middle, okay? But you can see how close they are here. Like there is occasionally a chance that a kick could be blocked because of the long pause.
Yep.
So anyway, that's a little bit about that. So if we save this play, we'll save it as, right? And we'll keep that in the other one here, and we will call it long
field goal.
Field goal, right? And we will save it. Now, here is where we get into the AI of things, all right? Because here you can go to save artificial intelligence, and you'll notice that there are a number of things that are in the AI, okay?
Yep.
And so you have a priority. So basically a play with a priority of 10 will, you know, like be more likely to be run than a play with a priority of 5 or 6 or whatever, right?
Yep.
And also you'll notice that this is first down, second down, third down, fourth down. Okay, so on fourth down, this field goal play has a priority of 10. And it doesn't matter how many yards there are to go, right?
Yep.
Now, the position on the field, okay, you can actually kick from the 31-yard line. You can reliably kick a field goal without using the extra pauses.
Yep.
And it also reduces the risk of a block. So for this one, because it's for the long field goal, you want this one to be, you know, like from that 40-yard range to 30 yards, right?
Yep.
And you don't really want to pick outside 40 because, you know,
you'll never be able to kick
you'll never be able to kick a field goal from that far away anyway. So this is basically the only place on the field that you ever want to attempt this particular field goal. And then, of course, your game time, well, what you would do is it would depend kind of on what's going on here with the score and whether or not you're ahead or behind, right?
Yep.
And again, that you can also adjust this. So basically, this would be the normal long field goal attempt, right?
Yep.
And it's for pretty well any situation except for the last. Well, if we made like this, like each of these is so that's like what, 7.5 minutes.
Yep.
So then that would be half of 7.5 minutes. So roughly 3.25 minutes, right? Like 3 minutes and 15 seconds, I guess, right? So for the last roughly 3 minutes of a game, you would choose a different play depending on what the score was and that kind of thing, right?
Yep.
Because if you're trailing by 7, you know, you might not want to kick a field goal with 2 minutes left in the game, right?
True. Yep.
You know, you might want to go for it because otherwise you kick the field goal and end up losing anyway, right?
Yep. And so you can set that under the score difference thing.
Yeah, exactly. But we'll show how that works too. So anyway, we'll go save, right? And then what we can do is we can take this play again and we can go save play as, and we can go 2 minutes long field goal, right? And save it. And then we'll save the AI for this one. Only this one, we want it to only be run at this time, right? And we only want to run it if we are not behind by more than 3 points, right? And otherwise, the field position is the same, and the yards and the priority are all the same.
Yep.
Okay. So basically, for all of the game up to the 3/4 of the way through the fourth quarter, regardless of the score, you'll always try to field goal on fourth down. But if there's only like less than 3 minutes left to play in the game, if you're trailing by, oh yeah, right, I got that backwards too. Pardon me. Right. Okay. There. If you're trailing by oh no, I didn't have that.
You had
backwards.
it right.
Yeah, I had it right.
Yeah, you had it right.
I'm overthinking things here a little bit. Anyway, okay, so if you're trailing by 3, or if you're tied or ahead,
then you'd kick the field goal.
Then you'd kick the field goal. Okay. If you were trailing by more than 3, well, then you would have a selection of offensive plays that you would have set up to go on fourth down instead, right?
Yeah.
To try and make a first down. And we'll kind of get into that another time, because this is basically as basic as the artificial intelligence goes. Okay?
Yep.
Because, and we're not going to get into this side here, because really none of this really applies to a field goal, because a field goal is successful if you get 3 points, and it's not successful if you don't get 3 points, right?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, so we'll save that. Now, like I said, you also have your regular field goal, which you'd set up, and your field goal last minute, which would be from the 30-yard line and in, right? But you would set up the AI pretty much the same way, right? And of course, you also have punts, right? Which you would also set up in a similar kind of way. Like if you're playing with a lead, right, or if the score is tied and you get to fourth down and you're on, around their 40-yard line, well, you might want to try and do like a coffin corner punt out of bounds or something, instead of trying to either risk taking a field goal and missing and giving them good field position, or obviously going for it on fourth down, right?
Yep.
But anyway, you also can set up on the defensive side the AI. So this is the standard field goal block, okay? And like you've got this set up on the defensive side. I'm not sure why you would set it up over here. Mm-hmm. I guess if you want to try and block a punt, right?
Or some such, yep.
Well, yeah, that's what it would be. If the offense is punting out of their own end zone, then instead of setting up a return, you might want to put a block play out there, right? That's probably why that is. And of course, like this one covers the entire game time. But what you would do again is, if you wanted to be cautious of and conscious of maybe a fake, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, then maybe what you would do is for a like a late game fake attempt, is if you are ahead by say more than 3 points.
Yep.
Right. Well, then you might want to try a different variant of this block.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it would be kind of like the punt block man, or the field goal blocks man, or something like that, right? Like
that's right.
Instead of having everybody assigned to rush, you'd have a combination of either man-to-man coverage or zone coverages in your block play, right? Instead of just having 3 very broad zones here and then everybody else coming on the block. So that's kind of extremely basic on how AI in this game works. We only basically barely scratch the surface, because it becomes far more complex when you're basically building AI for your running and passing plays and for your various defensive plays and all that kind of stuff. It actually gets to be pretty complex.
Yep.
But it was interesting just to look at it for this very simple special teams setup. And it gives you an idea of how much control you have over how the team plays.
Literally, you can control every single aspect.
Yeah. And you know what? It's not as nice a looking graphics as the modern games, and you don't have the degree of control over individual players that you do in the modern games and all that kind of stuff.
But it's solid football.
But it's solid football. Football is respected, and there aren't too many exploits that you can do in this game.
Yeah.
Like it's basically everything that you do, even some of the more outlandish things that the Vandals do, for example. If we load up something like circle roll right, okay, well, that's a pretty outlandish play, right?
Yep.
Like you've got, by the looks of it, this is the fullback, I think. Or no, the halfback. Okay,
Acting
you got the halfback lined up in a tight end position, and you got a wide receiver over here. And you've got a tight end over here, and you got a tight end lined up in the backfield, right? And you've got the fullback lined up here. So basically with this play, it's almost like a very complicated screen where the halfback runs this long, winding route underneath the offensive line, right?
Yep.
And just to we'll give you an idea of what it looks like when, just to run it, just for the fun of it. So we'll put that out there. And some of these plays are extremely tough to stop. But you can see how weird the offensive formation looks, right? So, like it's a long snap, and he rolls way over to his right, and then throws the ball back across the field, right?
Yep.
And of course, obviously, the timing on this works much better when the Vandals run it, because
they're a much better team in that regard.
They're a much better team in that regard. But yeah, like that, what just happened there, that's a typical result for that play. And it's because when the halfback travels all the way underneath like that, well, it's very difficult for the guy covering him, if it's man coverage,
to follow him across without getting picked up by the line.
It's very difficult because you can see the guy who's trying to cover the halfback. Well, he's in the middle of all this mess trying to make his way through here, and he's chasing him here, right?
Yep.
And then he has to overcome a blocker over here as well.
Yep.
Right. But of course, the Donkeys' defensive personnel, particularly the corners, are extremely tough guys, right? So this tight end is not going to block this cornerback out, right?
Yep.
But anyway, that's kind of an exploity kind of a play, but it still basically follows the rules of football, right?
Yeah, it's just drawn unconventionally, but it's basically a halfback screen.
Yeah. That being said, you can't draw a play like that in Madden because your own player won't be able to run across the formation underneath the line like that. He himself will get hung up in the line and won't be able to move, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, it might be possible in some of these twin tight end formations I can see, because you could, there's a special thing you can do specifically with tight ends where if you give them a cut 90 right at the line, instead of behaving like wide receivers where they take a couple steps forward and then start to follow their assignment, a tight end will follow their assignment immediately, but you'd still have to draw him behind the line.
And here's another Vandals play.
And you need a pretty fast tight end to get around the line to actually fulfill that pass route.
Anyway, here's another Vandals play, and this is again a non-standard, and people may have seen me actually try and use a formation like this in Madden. But the thing is that your options in Madden are much more limited than what you can do with this. And basically what this is called scissors pass in the backfield, and basically the halfback is the guy catching the timed pass, right? I think that's the halfback. You never know with these guys.
It's the halfback.
Okay, so, and basically what is happening here is that the fullback, they're faking a handoff to the fullback, right?
Yep.
Like this is a play action pass. The tight ends and the wide receiver are blocking. This is a weird looking block assignment, but it does work. And you got some pass blocking going on in here too, right? And it looks like a mess, but watch how it works.
Okay.
Because again, when you look at how play action works in this game, okay, when he does the play fake, everybody kind of freezes for a second.
Yep.
And then, like they don't completely forget how to play football like they do in Madden 05, but they still, it does.
It creates a freeze enough that he could possibly throw it to the halfback.
Yeah.
Although that time that guy didn't bite on the play fake at all.
Well, the best way to defend a pass like this is playing man-to-man coverage anyway.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's essentially a gimmick pass, and here's the guy who is supposed to be covering this receiver, right? Like the halfback. And you see how he runs down toward him, and you can see here, right here, that's him, right? So the guy who picks up the coverage over there is actually the cornerback. Okay, who
has cover on the tight end.
And the reason that this play works better for the Vandals is because their tight ends are very, very strong. And
so they
can
run
actually,
that guy off.
Yeah, so they can actually run that cornerback off, right? And the coverage guy gets hung up in the backfield and can't, catch up to the receiver.
Yep. Yeah, because the corners on this team are like the safety corners on our team.
Yeah. Well, if you look at the tight end here, he's not bad, but if you look at the corner over here, well, he's
all Madden.
He's all Madden, right? So yeah, and the same thing with the guy on the other side too, right?
Yep.
Pretty much. So like that's the way that you can defend against teams like the Demons and the Vandals. You need to have your corners basically be the best players on your defense. Right? Because if you're going to avoid having gimmicky plays like this, because what happens is that usually what'll happen is this tight end will run that cornerback off because he's got a block command here.
Yep.
And he'll run a normal cornerback right off of the line of scrimmage there, right? And then this running back running underneath with his coverage guy chasing him through the line, well, just because of their relative starting positions,
he's got an edge.
The coverage guy has lost a couple of steps already, right?
And the Vandals don't have a slouch for a halfback either.
That's right. Well, and when you look at this guy though, he's also like a pretty good linebacker, right?
Jack Daniels, the linebacker.
That's right. And when you look at this guy here, he's no better than an average halfback.
Yeah.
Right. But anyway, when you see plays like that run by teams like the Vandals, well, then you'll see why. Okay, let's just open the Vandals for a second, just for the fun of it. And then we'll stop this because okay. So the Vandals actually have an interesting defensive philosophy. And this is one where I got some of that idea, where you have that 5-man line.
Yep.
Right? This is exactly where it came from, actually, was basically this type of alignment, right? And this one is a man-to-man coverage scheme, but that's not really what we're trying to look at here. What we want to do is we want to look at some of their offensive plays. So you can see that they've got like a lot, like their playbook is just about full.
Yep.
And so here's the circle roll right. And you can see the difference between the players who are running these as well, right? Like Velocity Vandal there is like pretty scary guy, right?
Yep.
So if we have the Vandals run this, okay. Well, again,
It's a man-to-man coverage scheme.
yeah, it is a man-to-man coverage scheme, and but occasionally it looks like they. Oh yeah, right. They're playing zones with these guys too, right?
That's right. Yep.
So that's what's going on there. So if we look at the defensive assignments here, he's playing a flat zone there, and he's playing a flat zone there, right?
Yep.
Which would explain why they're able to be in there. But you can see that this is a complex man coverage scheme. Like, you've got guys using shading with their man coverage assignments and stuff like that too, right?
Yep.
You know, like it's a complex scheme. But what I wanted to look at particularly here, just to show people where another play that I run quite a lot of came from, is, you know, that sort of trips bunch formation that I run?
Yeah, yep.
Well, this is a bit different. In fact, I think we can go into options here. Yeah, options. And show a position abbreviation. There we go. Okay, so anyway, they have like an extra guy on this side, but normally I would have a guy positioned here, right?
Yep.
But if you look at how the play is designed, look at this. So you have this guy running a deeper route and that guy running to the flat.
Yep.
Right? And this is basically where I got the idea to do that from, right? So anyway, there's some a little bit of stuff from the Vandals playbook and an idea of where I got some of my offense and defensive ideas. And I guess that's probably enough Playmaker football for this time around, because we do tend to drag on a little bit with that.
All right.
So maybe we should actually play a game.
All right, we'll come back with the game. And we're back.
Yes, and I was looking at the individual stats, as I do sometimes.
Oh, as we've got a little bit of a freeze here. Hold up. There we go. We're good.
Okay. Anyway, as I was saying, while you were off refreshing your drink, I was looking at the individual stats as one does. And you know who the league leading sack getter is right now? It's right outside linebacker Tony Seymour.
Well, we'll have to see if his success continues.
Well, the thing is that that's the first time I ever remember a user-controlled team having a right outside linebacker leading the league in sacks, because it's usually quite hard to get pressure from that side.
Yeah, it's usually the left outside linebacker getting all the sacks, just because the game has a bias towards that side. But maybe the right side of our defense is just overwhelmingly strong. I don't know.
Yeah, and look at this. The Desperados are 1-2.
Yeah, wow, they're having a rough time.
They're off to a poor start.
Yeah, and I don't think that their rating is particularly low. It's just...
Yeah, and of course we are already playing our return game against the Stingers. We beat them, I believe, in week 1? Week 2.
Week 2, I think.
Yeah, week 2. We beat them in week 2. So, anyway, we'll see how they do in the return match. Where are we here? Here we go. And of course, I'm leading the league in passing yards as usual. And I'm actually 24th in the league in rushing yards.
Only 24th?
Yeah.
That's not bad.
But I've also got slightly higher percentage. I'd say it's sort of like I don't know, 55 45 kind of.
Yep.
Run versus pass. So I'm still running a little bit more. The Stingers do not score very many points, at least not so far.
They apparently don't run the ball at all either, or pass the ball at all either.
Yeah, and your defense right now is the best in the league, with a league low of 10 points per game allowed.
Look at you just lighting up the passing yardage.
Yep. Well, when everybody I meet plays an 11-man line all the time, it definitely does affect the way I play.
Yep.
Very much in the early hunt as the visiting team gets set to take on the Stingers. Hi again, everyone. It's almost time for
He actually says the Stingers. How about that? There must be a actual team somewhere where they have a name in the library called the Stingers, eh?
Maybe. Or maybe they recorded like a fixed voice clip for all the logos if the name perfectly matches the logo or something.
Both teams eager to
I don't know.
get today's action started, so
It's hard to say. But anyway, I guess we'll be kicking off. I'm going to choose my offensive audibles as usual here. And then you can choose your defensive audibles.
Okay.
So, oh, by the way, your defense also leads the league in interceptions.
I don't even know how that's possible, okay? I don't get interceptions.
Yep. So your right outside linebacker leads the league in sacks, and as a team, you're leading the league in interceptions.
I really couldn't tell you how that is. Because I play one of the most conservative defenses in the league in terms of pass coverage. And I certainly play a more conservative defense out of the two of us than you do by far.
back to the game.
And that all stems from the original design of my defense, which when I originally drew my defense long ago, it was cross my fingers and hope the opposing offense doesn't score so that I can come back and score on them. That was the original idea.
Ooh, boy, that was a bit of a rocky kickoff.
They'll set up for the return.
I think you'll have to field that one.
Yeah.
From the 8-yard line.
And there goes Holman.
Yeah, Holman leads the team in tackles, and he's also something like 5th or 6th in the league in tackles right now, too.
Oh, look, everybody's coming out against me with the fucking 3 wide receivers and the tight end on the line, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the new meta to counter this new defensive scheme.
Only one man in the backfield. Mitchell goes in motion. Passing on first down.
Oh, you got a hit on him there.
Yeah, the pass rush got kind of screwed up there.
Yeah, but you still got a guy through there anyway. I think that one also probably because he snapped the ball early to try and catch you out of position, and I think that actually harms the offense a little bit too sometimes when they do that, right? Because it creates confusion on the offensive line.
Drops back. Pressure.
Ooh. Wow, you got a hit on him again there.
Good read, finding the single
yep, just the receiver there got to the inside of the corner and managed to
in the National Football League.
When two teams like this
bring that one in.
It attracts a big audience because fans love to see a lot of points scored. The defensive coordinators are going to try and make sure that doesn't happen in this one. It's going to be a tough challenge.
Holt brings him down at the 32-yard line.
Well, that's a very unsuccessful run play.
Yep. I noticed that you didn't change sides that time when they motioned the tight end, so I think maybe you were thinking run there or something, hey?
Nope.
No?
Gets the pass off.
Whoa.
Almost.
He didn't get beat to the inside that time.
That's the thing. That was a perfect opportunity to make a big play for his defense. He lets it go as an incomplete pass rather than an interception.
They'll play things tighter on the outside.
If he keeps throwing passes like that, you're going to get an interception or two in this game, too.
Under pressure, throwing short to the right side.
Well, they can throw passes like that all day long if they want to. Look at that. They only used up like 2 minutes of the clock.
Yeah, well, they were calling plays and running them as fast as they could, too, right? Like, if we didn't have the accelerated clock on, they probably would have had the ball for less than a minute.
From the 26. Can't bring him down.
Well, I ran someone over.
Yeah.
Lowered your shoulder into them.
Yep. And then the next guy went low.
It's 1st and 10.
Well, we'll start the game off
Hand it off.
with a run play.
Walker stops him at the 37-yard line. So a pickup of maybe 3. 7 yards to go.
Okay.
Gaines loses 1 tackle. Steve
Nice.
pickup of about 5.
Well, you're 3rd and short.
Ball on their own 42.
Well, it definitely gives me more options.
They just came out in the goal line.
Did they?
Yeah.
Wow.
And they crowded the line.
Looks like he's calling an audible.
Okay, well, just for the fun of it, I'm just going to try this anyway, just to see if it works.
He hands it off.
Now, the goal line is a remarkably weak run defense
He gets just barely
for
enough
its
for the first
alignment.
down.
Here's a situation where
Well,
you
I managed to
square
make the
your
first down
shoulders
with
and
3
you get
running
what you need for
plays.
the first down.
Yeah, I think coming out in the goal line at your opponent's 40 is a bit over-aggressive.
Yeah, probably. I'd never do it, but, you know. Actually, that's kind of a lie, because with the monster defense, I'm more or less playing defenses that are based on the goal line all the time, right?
Yeah, but when you've got 5 defensive linemen and then 5 defensive backs, or 6
Yeah,
defensive backs.
I suppose it is a bit different, right? Well, now they got everybody up on the line, right? I've run a few too many run plays.
Directing traffic. Number 6 sends a man in motion.
Yeah, there was no way you were going to run into that.
Watch for a blitz from the outside on the right.
Gets the pass off.
Oh, boy, that guy did a good job covering that.
The incomplete pass.
Well,
brings up
I
3rd
think it
down.
still hit number 82 the whole way there, though, because I think the coverage guy is a little
6th play of
uncoordinated.
this drive.
Yeah, well. Anyway, they did bring that blitz exactly the way I thought they were going to, though, didn't they?
I think you got to not worry so much about it.
Well, I don't know. I think it's important.
Nah, either you throw the ball away or you get hit.
With the pass,
You can't focus on getting hit.
Black with the stop.
Right?
Well, I
Otherwise,
wasn't-
the pressure
well,
will
no,
get
I
to
wasn't.
you.
I was reading to try and see who would be open, right? Because if they blitz from that side, chances are the coverage is going to be deficient on that side too, right?
Unless they lay a trap for you.
Yeah.
Got to think like Sandman099 and roll a zone defender into that area.
Calling an audible now.
Huh, yeah, I suppose, hey?
Handed off to the fullback. Seymour pulls him down at the 35-yard line.
Okay, well,
And a
that was
pickup
all
of
right.
about 2.
You were making slow and steady progress down the field.
That's right. See, if they're not going to use up their allotted amount of time in this game, I'm going to use it for them. if I can.
Come out in a nickel package.
Wowee.
That's a nickel.
Yeah, that's a lot of players on the line right there.
Yeah, but Hudson is coming through for you.
This offense having no trouble moving the ball on this drive.
Yeah, and this defense is having a lot of trouble stopping. They can't seem to key on what they're doing and put an end to this drive.
Looks like he's calling an audible. Handed off to the fullback. Black makes the tackle at the 23.
Well, once I got that 2 yards, they kind of closed things down.
And this is the 10th play of this drive. Inside enemy territory. Nickelback in this time.
Oh, here we go. Extra people up on the line again.
Martin comes in motion. Drops back. Throwing. And this pass is complete.
Oh, he almost got away.
Number 6 with a tight spiral on that pass.
Just the back of his leg.
Yep, just caught the back of his leg.
7 yards to go for the touchdown. Hudson goes in motion. Gaines breaks the tackle. Running with purpose.
And of course, whenever Gaines carries the ball, he always runs somebody over.
So that's a gain of
Yeah,
about
well,
5.
see there too, I used the tight end to plug that hole that they were going to shoot the gap with this guy with, right?
Yep.
And he did a good job. Look at that, hey? Yeah, and then the free safety isn't as good a tackler as Damon Sawyer. Right?
Yeah, the free safety's so not as good as Damon Sawyer that we don't even know his name.
Yeah.
They need 2 yards to get it into the end zone. Changing the play now.
Well, we'll just plow straight ahead here again since it looks like they've got a pretty wide line here.
Yeah, again, though, the goal line's really not a great running defense in this game. And that's a terrible spot.
And a pickup of
Yep.
about 2.
Wow, they're going to spot you at the 1. They're going to spot you a full yard backwards.
Third and goal.
Well, except they're going to put the ball on the
Yeah,
goal.
the ball is nosing the goal line there, but yeah.
Still a terrible spot.
Okay, I think I like my chances with the fullback here better.
Watch, they're going to let that defensive lineman on the right through unblocked.
Tosses it right. This one is handed
Or not.
off.
Now, this is exactly how to get the ball in the end zone. Just get in behind the center and guard and keep pushing and pushing until they're putting up 6
Yeah,
points
sure,
on the
John. That's
board.
exactly what happened.
Yep. Actually, I just ran right through that gap between the tackle and the tight end there, right?
I mean, you know, they're only like 2 or 3 position slots and several yards away from the center and the guard.
Extra point attempt is
Yeah,
good.
well,
So
you know.
if you're half-baked before the game, then maybe it looks about the same to you.
Yeah. Ugh.
And he got all of that one.
I'm having a hard time with the kickoffs here again.
That's okay. You're still kicking them close enough to inbounds that the guy has to field them.
So after
Yeah, I haven't actually kicked one out of bounds yet, but it's coming.
heads back
Nah,
onto the field.
don't think about it.
It's all that golf that's messed me up, right?
Ah, you think too much.
All these swing bars, and it's like I'm going to be seeing swing bars in my sleep now after this.
Good. It'll make you better.
First down. With the pass.
Oh, nice.
Lewis just made a great defensive play.
He has a knack for making a big play.
You must have had him lurking in the middle of the field there.
No, I think his man coverage guy was blocking.
The corners move up. to play
Alfred
this one
Lewis is
tight.
the defensive end.
Oh, maybe he was then. I don't know. I called an audible there. Totally in the wrong
You're totally-
position. That's
Yeah.
okay. We can still play defensive line with
Makes
Jamie
the play
Boston.
At the 21. But wasn't able to get anything going.
He had a rush assignment there on that play anyways.
Down very quickly. That's just a case of studying game film this week paying off. When you know what they like to run in certain situations, you can anticipate the play call and stop the play before it even gets started.
Oh, look at that! Wow! He just bowled that blocking back over, eh?
Pressure and get rid of the ball. Give
Yep.
your
Real
receivers
nice.
a
That
chance
was a
to make
last-second
play.
decision by you too.
That was a last-second decision, yeah.
It's 4th and a mile, so out comes the punter.
And that is Tony Seymour, who now has got 7 sacks on the season and leads the
And he
league.
waves for the fair
That's a
catch.
very short punt.
Yeah.
Might have been able to return it, though. Those guys had a terrible angle.
Well,
1st and 10. Nickelback in this time. Fullback handoff. Dives and makes the tackle. Pickup of about 5.
All right.
Fantastic blocking by Gaines there.
Well, not really, but okay.
Get to the 36 to convert
Actually, I
for a
think
first
blocking
down.
is one of his lowest attributes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just not very good at it.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be a bigger play than it ended up being, right?
I don't understand how a guy who's almost 240 pounds can be so bad at blocking.
Well, it's a skill, I guess, right?
Fullback, number 55 is the guy.
You know,
who's
like
here to
anything
bring it
else, it's a
down
skill.
at the 37-yard line. Gain of 4. They have to get to the 36 to convert for a first down.
Oh, that's not looking very positive.
Changing the play now.
Yeah, they're in that nickel formation with the linebackers in the perfect gaps to
Looks like
plug
he's
the
calling
run.
an audible.
Yep.
Martin breaks free.
Oh, but you
Wow.
managed to squeeze through there.
That was a really tight gap.
Gets the first.
That's a good job of separating out of the defense.
I don't know how I made it through there. Wow.
Well, it's a good thing Martin's a little undersized.
First and 10.
That was a very tight squeeze.
He sees something in the defense. Gaines. Big pop that time.
Boom! Now that is big-time football.
And he picks up about 4. The first down marker is just inside.
Woohoo! Let's run the ball. Well, except for here. I'm not so arrogant as to think that I can run the ball against a 10-man line.
Gets the pass off, runs through the tackle. He's at the 20. Sawyer makes the play
Yeah.
at the 7.
Sawyer was the
Number 7
last man
pulled the trigger
back.
Quickly.
As hard as he throws,
Saving the
he
touchdown.
always seems to put the ball right on the receiver's numbers.
Calling an audible now.
This should be the last play of the first quarter.
He gets the carry.
And it's a touchdown.
And it's a touchdown.
So I guess it's not going to be the last play of the first quarter.
No, I guess not.
Touchdown. I'll tell you,
I got that nice
right out of the
split
chute.
blocking there, though, right?
Yep. Yeah, and then you're home free.
Yep. Yeah, Gaines has been a little bit starved for rushing yardage because in the first 3 games we played the Stingers once and then we played 2 all Madden teams too, right? So,
Well, he had a slow start this season, but I'm sure it'll come.
And it's up.
yeah, he's only been managing to get about 50 yards per game, eh?
This is one of those teams that's never out of a game. If you let them get going early, they can
And he's
really
the leading
control the
rusher,
tempo of the
too.
game. If they
So,
fall behind,
you know, like I said, I've been doing my fair share of running, but
very quickly.
not having much success at it to this point.
Booming kick downfield. From the 4. The offense couldn't get anything going on their last drive, going 3 and out. So they have first and 10 here. The defense is going to play this one very tight. Quick is the deep back. Pass play here on first down with the throw. And
Well,
he makes
he just
the grab.
dumps that little
He was
slant
really
in
hit
there,
hard
right?
on that play.
Yep.
Yeah, you talk about your DK.
Oh, these things happen
That's what happened
sometimes,
there.
right? You can't
He got
cover
loaded,
everything.
and he got a
Yeah,
deflator.
well, you know what? That is the one particular type of play that both of us tend to give up, right?
And
Those
we're ready
short
to start
passes
the
over the
second
middle.
quarter.
I mean, I do have plays that cover those areas, but I tend not to cover them very often because I'd prefer to give up that type of play compared to the other type of play,
Yeah.
which is the long bomb down the sideline.
Throwing on first down. Pressure coming. Gets the pass
Well, I think
off.
he overthrew that one.
I think that one was wild.
That throw sailing over the receiver's head.
That was wild, the way that came out.
Corners are moving up to
I think
press the receiver.
you probably jammed the receiver bad enough that it broke the route, eh?
him down at the 40. About 7 yards there. 3rd and 3. The visiting team brings everyone up to the line of scrimmage to be in better position for any type of run.
Yeah, sure, that's exactly what we're doing now.
Wow, that's not going anywhere. That looked like an absolutely disastrous run play.
Yeah, they tried to snap that one real early too.
Yeah, but you had 2 unblocked guys out wide, right? Like it was just. Even if they were still scrambling to get in position, they were in a perfect position to stop that play.
And he signals for the fair catch.
That was just about the worst thing they could have done under the circumstances, right?
Yeah, you can't force those. When you see the defense audible, your best choice is to take your time and audible to something else.
Yep.
Number 6 sends a man in motion. He has room.
Nope, not going to run over Damon Sawyer.
Well, that's okay, though, because you did fall over him.
Yeah. Yeah, I fell on him, right?
And rolled over him.
It's 2nd down and 1 to go.
And 2nd and inches is a pretty good position to be in.
Yes, it is.
Seymour stops him at the 37-yard
Couldn't quite get anything there.
The defense is always very aggressive when defending the run. They're extremely disciplined, and they get off their blocks very quickly. Makes it tough to find openings when you're running the ball.
Well, we'll see if we can run again for short yardage 1st down. Nope.
Yep.
Okay, well, I guess we broke the handoff, but we managed to pick it up anyway.
You know the way football in the NFL is played now, quarterbacks have to be able to make that kind of play right there.
Yeah, when the halfback fucks up and doesn't take the snap like he's supposed to, you need to be able to improvise, right?
Sends a man in motion.
Uh-oh. We had an offensive lineman in the backfield a long ways there.
Yep. And then the defensive lineman came from around the other side and got you.
It really pays off when you make stops like that.
2nd and long coming up here.
Like I couldn't even run around him to get away, right?
Yep.
Gaines goes in motion. Dropping back, throws it, and he makes the grab. Dives and brings
We'll just
it
get
down.
some of it back, I guess.
With a decent 6-yard gain. And this is the 6th play of this drive. 7 yards to go.
Well, you've completed 5 consecutive passes.
Nickelback in this
I'm leading the league in
6
pass
sends a man in
completion
motion.
percentage, actually.
He's looking, gets rid of it, and it's complete. Black
Throwing
with
it to
the tackle.
Roberts in the double coverage.
43.
Yep.
This is one heck of a play. Look at it.
Well, he had the position underneath, though, right?
Come through with his perfect play that gets him a first and keeps it driving.
See, if you look at how the guy covered him, like this guy here has the coverage assignment, right? But
Yeah,
he's
and the
like,
zone defender gives it to him, too.
And the zone defender, he basically just runs right by him, so I just led it to the inside, right?
We'll go back to the play on the field.
And I was lucky that he was able to run well enough to catch up to it.
He sees something in the defense. Number 6 with a man in motion. Dropping back, surveying the field, looking for the long completion down the left side.
I was going to say your tight end, man.
At the 12.
Yeah, I know, but
Look here. He
my
does two
wide
things
receiver.
perfectly on this play. One, he watches the ball all the way into his hands to make the catch. And 2, he shows great awareness and gets both feet down in bounds. Hey, that's a nice looking play.
See, if I had some success running the ball like I have, and they start playing like this, well then You know, like I'm going to take those long shots down the field, right?
Going to the air on first down. Great pass. Dives and brings him down at the 4-yard line. That guy did a great job bringing the ball in.
That receiver has it all. He can run and catch with the best of them.
Because I have actually had a bit of success running here so far, at least.
Martin in motion. Going to the right. Hands off to the tailback. He just got it across the goal line.
The offense has been knocking on the door, and now they just kicked it down.
Well, you know what? Even playing with the Nerf sliders, this is actually pretty easy.
Yeah, honestly, it might be a little easier than the first time we played against them.
And it's on its way.
Maybe they still haven't recovered, or maybe they suffered some injuries in the week that they weren't up against us.
I don't know. Or maybe they're just playing like crap.
Yeah, maybe they're just playing like crap. I can't remember last time we had home field disadvantage, right?
Yep.
There you go. They've got home field disadvantage.
From the 2. Not much on that return.
Nope, they had him fumbling and bumbling all around before the 20, and that return was over before it ever got anywhere.
Quick is the deep back. Mathis, the motion man. Tosses it out to the left.
Well, that time he did get the toss there, and he tossed it to the weak side of your defense.
Well, that's okay.
2nd and 2.
Yeah, that's the thing, though. For every one time that one of those toss plays works, it fails 4, right?
Well, that means, though, that they're going to run toss plays some more, right? So
yeah.
Drops back.
Well, that time they managed to snap the ball while you were still getting in position, and it worked for them.
Yeah, sadly.
Nice read, finding the receiver who was in single coverage.
Although they did have, like, shitloads of extra blocking there anyways, so I don't think it would have mattered.
The quarterback lines up with 2 backs behind him. Throwing, and the catch is made. Seymour makes the stop at the 49. So they get 2 first downs on their last 2 plays.
Yeah, they were working those short passes over the middle.
And taking what the defense gives them.
But the one thing you can take comfort in is that it isn't going to last, right? They don't have the patience or the ability to keep doing it, even if it's working.
Well, that was also a pretty amazing catch that receiver made just now.
He was sliding on his knees in order to catch that one, yeah.
Play to the right.
That formation's a little better against those toss plays.
He's all about effort.
Yeah, well, and you had the safety up there helping out, too.
He's got the experience to diagnose plays very quickly.
I don't know. I mean, you saw that toss play that I ran to the halfback at the goal line on my last possession, right? But that, to me, is about as much toss play as I ever really run. Because they don't generally work very well in this game.
And this is the 7th play of this drive.
That one works well in that situation because they had the defense shifted way away from that side, and I was able to motion an extra blocker over to that side too, right?
Oh, he blew his coverage.
Yep, he did.
Damn.
Excellent recognition by the receiver, reading the coverage and adjusting his route accordingly.
But again, I don't know why they don't just run with the intended receiver, you know, like just run with them. Why stop short and then try to jump, right? Just run with them, and that way, when the pass comes in, it's actually a lot closer to you and a lot more within reach, you know?
It's okay, maybe they'll run a couple more toss plays.
Yeah, that was how do you lose 7 yards on a run play? Like, really?
And he watches
That's worse than a sack.
And he actually anticipates what the offense is going to run before they call the play.
Under pressure, gets the pass off. Great pass.
See, he should be playing that the way he played that particular pass, right? You know, just stay with the guy, and even if he catches it, just make sure you tackle him after he catches it.
setback. Closing in, throws it, and the catch is
Well,
made.
they might get themselves a field goal here.
Immediately, so they'll be looking at a field goal attempt here.
Good job to make sure he wasn't going to break
Yeah,
free.
they'll probably
Big
make this
gain on
one.
that play.
Most kickers can make a field goal this length.
And lines up for the field goal to try to put them on the board for the first time in the game. The kick is up.
No problem for him.
That looked like it was pretty easy. Yep.
Whatever the situation, he'll approach it the same way. Cool and smooth.
That being said, though, that one swing pass that they got, that was, I think, is what made that happen, and that was pretty cheesy because the computer just picked the wrong defensive technique for you there.
Well, I was trying to get behind number 87 there, and number 87 just wanted to stop and pause in my path there.
Yep. Yeah.
That's McCoy.
He just wanted to stop and
Block me out.
Yep. Oh my.
Changing the play now. Throwing on first down. With the throw, and he hits his target. Springs with the stop at the 34-yard line. Nice call going.
Wow, that was a generous spot.
I also can't believe they didn't cover him because he's not an unreliable receiver.
No, he's actually a pretty good receiver, but whatever. Let's see if he's a good enough blocker to block that corner.
Hand off to the tailback. Big pop that
Oh,
time.
not quite, but I guess I can bowl him over for a couple of yards, eh?
Gaines will just bully his way down the field.
Second down. To go.
Wow, now they got... I run the ball once, and now all of a sudden they got everybody on the line.
The
Eh?
motion man.
Again. Oh, it's a 2-minute warning. I can just let the clock run out here.
Yeah, and then you can throw the bomb against them the next time they line up and crowd the line.
Well, let's see if they change their minds this time, eh?
Looks like he's calling an audible. Dropping back.
Oh,
He surveys
I think
the
they
field,
had that
steps
pretty
up
well
into the
covered.
pocket,
Come on.
steps away. So they'll lose yardage.
Yeah,
I
you were
kept
trying to
getting-
pull the ball down?
Well, I kept getting hit, and I couldn't get any control, right?
Ah.
Because it takes a second or two to regain control of your player after you take a hit.
Yep.
And I couldn't get back. I couldn't regain control because there's that I don't know how many frames it is, but several frames where you actually don't. Oh, okay. Well, maybe I should just punt now and get it over with, eh?
Now the offense faces third and forever.
They'll be faced with a long third down play here.
Because I'm pretty sure that when I lined up there, I had less than 10 seconds on the clock after that, right? Which is kind of nonsense too, but...
He's looking. Pressure coming. He's scrambling around.
We'll just pick up some yards.
38-yard line.
Give us a little better position for the punt.
Well, this isn't the worst place to punt from.
Well, you know what? I figured
Your
if I...
previous position was more like that.
Yeah, I figured, you know what? If I'm going to punt anyway, I might as well try and improve the position a bit. I might have...
Here's the punt.
Okay, well...
Yeah, it's a okay result.
Yeah. Would have liked to have kicked it about 10 yards further, but okay.
So they have 1st and 10 here. Looks like they'll play bump and run on the outside.
Oh, there's Ronald Grimm out there.
Going to the air on 1st down.
Whoa!
Greg May comes around and gets a sack.
If he hadn't, you were going to, because you just shoved that guy out of the way, eh?
For a while now. And let me tell you, he might never be better than he is right now.
2nd and 15. Calling an audible now. The quarterback gets set with only one back behind him. Quick, sends a man in motion. Under pressure, gets rid of it. This one
I think he took a hit there anyways. Late hit.
Yep.
We're just about down to 1
Oh,
minute.
well.
Fresh
Defender
coverage
got
on
his
the
hand
outside.
in there anyway and broke that up.
Yeah, honestly, I think when they lined up in trips the first time, they were better off than when they motioned that receiver back across the field.
Yeah. Well, they're just going to run the ball now.
Alford stops him at the 24.
Well, shall we call a timeout?
No, don't bother.
Line up the punt after going 3 and out.
After this punt, I'm quite happy to just run the clock out.
Here's the punt.
Wow. You know what? I might have enough time to get within field goal range here anyway. That was a terrible punt.
An absolutely terrible punt.
Yeah, well, anyway, I'm going to go back to what I was doing, because as soon as I experimented and tried to do something different, that's when things kind of went sideways on the last possession. So we got to kind of stick with what's been working.
Gives the ball off.
And what's been working is
Run
this.
over by a truck.
Yeah, 2-ton truck pulling a trailer.
They're going to keep testing this rushing defense.
The guy seems to get stronger every time he touches the ball.
Into the carry.
Oh yeah, got some blocking, got a nice gain, gonna get out of bounds.
Yard
Nice.
line. Gaines explodes into the secondary for a nice game.
The offensive line dominated the defensive line there, and they sprang the
I think I still have a couple of timeouts too, eh?
You haven't used any.
Calling an audible now. Directing traffic. This one is handed off. Refuses to go down. Parrish pulls.
Okay, this seems like a good time to use one.
Number 6 stops the clock with that timeout. Good pickup on that play as they try to get the running game going. Establish something big.
I'd be running it with this guy, too. If he can keep getting runs that pick up 4 or 5 yards a pop, they should keep going.
Okay, well, let's take a
4 or
shot
5
at the
yards
end
per
zone
play
here.
is what they're going to need.
So we got the touchdown maker over there with man coverage on him by the looks of it.
Looking for a receiver.
Out the back of the end zone.
Yep.
3rd down. Upcoming after that. long
Okay,
pass.
well, it was worth a shot, right?
5th play of this drive. They come out of the nickel.
Okay, well, this might have possibilities too.
Drops back. Looking for an option. Gets the pass
Okay,
off.
I'll
Number
check
35.
down. They left the safety back. I'll call a timeout and kick a
Number
field
6
goal.
stops the clock there.
See, I wanted to look at the end zone here, but see how they left the safety back,
Yep.
right? And he was in a really good position there. I didn't want to try it. I didn't want to chance it at this point.
And we're back.
Well, that's okay. There's no shame in kicking a field goal.
This
You'll
field goal
offset their
attempt
3
will be
points.
From about
Yep.
33 yards away. And it's on its way. Plenty of distance on that one. Good kick.
All
At
right.
the end of 2, the score
Well,
is
it's pretty much all gone our way in the first half, eh?
Yeah, things have been going pretty smoothly.
I'm pretty happy with the way the running game's been going today, and, you know.
The everything has been going today.
Yeah, well, the everything has been going today. Well, it must be time for the halftime stretch, eh?
Indeed. And we're back.
Yes, and I've been running a bit of a run-heavy offense so far in this game, and rather successfully. I've my run-to-pass ratio is about 2 to 1. So,
Nothing wrong with that.
yeah. So the offensive numbers are fairly low,
To the 20.
but our time of possession is good, right? Been keeping the ball away from the opposition.
To win the game.
Well, managed to get out to over the 30 there. That's a
Yep.
pretty decent return.
Yeah, that was a good return,
Fingers come
actually.
out in a nickel package. Houston comes in motion. Off and running. The 40.
Ooh.
Sawyer records the tackle at the 42-yard line.
That's the one man I'm not going to beat.
This is the kind of thing that they have come to expect from their running game. A very consistent and effective ground attack.
Well, so far it's been consistent and effective today.
Number 6 sends a man in motion. Fullback handoff, and he picks up just enough for the first. He bowls straight ahead for the first down.
Yeah, it's 4 yards in a cloud of dust.
Yep. Well, you know
Four
what?
yards in a cloud of dust and an occasional flat pass.
Look at those offensive numbers, though, right? Like, that's the way I want to play.
Calling an audible now. Passing on first down. Guns at left side. And the catch.
And boy, can Quincy White run.
Well, he does have 99 speed after all.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure there isn't a wide receiver faster than him in the league.
He had 6. Somehow a touchdown-saving tackle was made. He's rarely caught like that.
Looks like he's changing the play.
But of course, there wouldn't be a faster halfback in the league than him either.
Nope.
Springs with the tackle at the 20. Gain of 7. They have to get inside the 18 to convert for the first down.
Okay. Well.
They have a big lead, and they're on the move again inside.
Yeah, why not? Let's try it.
Oh god, that's not going to work. You need to motion a tight end in there.
You think so? Okay.
Number 6 sends a man
We'll try
in motion.
motioning a tight end.
He hands it off.
Wow, that one guy just stood still. Did you see that?
Picks up just
No, I didn't.
enough.
I just saw a guy get a bit of penetration there, number 92, and then I managed to run away from him a little bit.
Yeah, one of the defensive players just stood still there, and it was the guy right there. Right there.
Where?
Top left.
Oh, this guy. Yeah.
He just stood still for the whole play.
Yeah, he did. He didn't react very well to that at
So
all.
let's pick up the action.
But that's okay. I'm
Yeah,
all right.
because your tight end went and fucked off to the other side of the formation.
Inside the
Yeah, that tight end I motioned over didn't do anything anyways, right?
Looks like he's changing the play. Going to the air on first down. Looking downfield, he finds his man.
Well, he looked like he juggled that one a little, but he kept it under control.
Yeah, well, Roberts can catch a little bit.
He's not Parkman.
Yeah, he's not as good as Martin, but he can catch a little, and I do throw the ball to him every now and again, right? Because I actually use my fullbacks in the passing game quite a bit.
You'll see every time you throw the ball to Adam Parkman on the Crusaders, the camera stops and all the players on the field stop and they all look at him and then they all pause, right? Right, the whole stadium goes silent for a moment.
Yeah, I guess so, hey?
They'll need to get to the 8.
Oh fuck, they leave him uncovered enough.
Yeah.
Nice job so far on third down for the offense, and we'll
But
see
when
if
you
that
drop that many
continues here.
passes, of course they'd leave you uncovered.
In motion.
Uh-oh.
For an option, because this one off balance.
Oh, did he catch
Great
that?
fingertip catch. Houston was stopped just
Wow.
short of the first down marker on
They
that.
counted it.
I guess. They didn't mark him a first down, but I guess that's okay. I was just throwing that away so I wouldn't get sacked,
Benson
because that
looking to
did
make
not
a
at all
quick
work
kick
out the
here.
way I thought it was going to. Because in addition to the man coverage, they also played a zone in the middle, right?
Yep.
The kick is up.
And I was expecting just man coverage, and if they hadn't played that zone in the middle, I would have had somebody to throw the ball to there, right?
Well, as it turns out, you had somebody to throw the ball to anyways, because John Mike Houston wants his name burned into the annals of history.
Well, I think that
And he got all
I'm surprised actually at how this game selects players to be NFL icons, because after season 1, when you were on offense and you threw for 5,600 yards, and about 2,600 yards of that was to John Mike Houston. Like, I don't think in real life a wide receiver has ever gotten, you know, almost 3,000 yards receiving in a single season. I don't think that's ever happened, right?
Well, that's because I threw it to 2 receivers, right? 2 eligible receivers, maybe a half of one to games, but 2 eligible receivers. We ran a 2 eligible receiver offense.
Yeah, pretty much.
This one very tight. Only one man back. Closing in, gets rid of it, and he makes the grab.
Okay,
Yeah, well, I
you know
didn't
what?
cover the tight end there, so.
Yeah, but I would say that the safety's coverage there was the right way to go about it too, though. You know,
He always seems to do a good job of
he
reading the
he
defense.
was too deep to do anything about it anyway, so he just came up and made sure he made the
Mitchell,
tackle,
the man
right?
in motion. Number 43 brings him down at the 48, about 7 yards there. It's second down and 3 to go.
Bring that noise, Steve! Bring that noise! Set! Move, move! Hut! Hut!
Gets the pass
Whoa!
off.
Oh, he had
Incomplete.
2 tries at it.
Not much touch on
Yep.
that pass.
He may have tried to put a little too much oomph on that throw.
Well,
And this is the fifth
maybe you
play of
won't
this
get an
drive.
interception today, if that's any indication.
It would be fairly normal for me not to.
Yeah.
Dropping back. Passing right.
Wow, that was a backward pass.
That was a screen,
Hanks
technically.
makes the play at the 44. They were able to make it past the first.
But I
down
was running a zone
on that play.
defense there,
And the
so.
receiver did a good job of maintaining body control to jump up and grab it.
That was a good thing that he caught that, because that was a fumble if he
Make
doesn't.
things tighter on the outside. Rushing on first down has not worked out for them today. Less than a 2-yard per carry average.
Oh, look at this.
2 yards isn't very good.
Still looking
Well,
at
that
the
kind
conversion
of,
after
you know,
scramble.
like sometimes that early snap like that just isn't going to pay off, right?
Yeah, just don't do that. Not in that situation.
So is that just a tackle for a loss then, or is that a sack?
I think that was a tackle for a loss.
Yeah, because it looks like you burst through and tackled him while he was trying to do the handoff
Pressure
thing,
coming.
right?
Throws it. He finds his man. Alford stops him at the 36-yard line. Quick, put the ball in there perfectly.
And that's one thing this guy does well. Put the ball right in the place where it needs to be. This team has to start converting on 3rd down if they're going to be successful.
Roger!
Tucks it away. Play action. Gets rid of it.
Oh boy!
Incomplete.
I mean, there's a ton of guys over there.
Everyone
Yeah.
back in coverage. You just couldn't get
And they're
it to the
going
open
for it
man.
on 4th down now.
Give a lot of
Yep.
credit to the guys up front. They were outnumbered on the line.
Well,
but
those
they
last
still
2
put on a
plays,
good
man,
effort.
I don't know how you managed to not get an interception, because you had like all 3 players on that play had a legitimate shot at that
Quarterback
ball.
lines up with 2 backs behind him. Pressure.
Boom!
And he's sacked on 4th down.
Turnover on downs.
Behind
Yep.
the line, loss of a couple.
Look here, this is not what a quarterback is supposed to do on 4th
Yeah,
down.
Greg
It's your
May
last shot.
gets the
You're going for it.
sack.
At least throw it up there and give your guy a shot. A sack is definitely not what you're looking for here.
Yeah, I played a whole bunch of zone defense on that drive.
Silver! 28! See left!
Trying to discourage those short passes over the middle.
He got
Yeah, a
caught.
little bit,
I'll
but
tell you
also
what, the
looking
defense
for
feel
maybe
afterwards.
getting something a little bit
Move the ball
extra.
on the ground.
A running attack that is consistent and effective.
And almost
will help
got
the
one with
offense dictate
that
the pace of the
spy
game.
on the right-hand side there.
Yeah. Oh my.
Looks like he's calling an audible.
What's up?
When they have more guys stacked in the middle than you do,
Drops back. With the pass, he finds his man.
You throw it to
Number
Roberts.
55.
Well, you
Records the
audible
at
to
the
a pass and throw it.
Continues to be a reliable target. That's his third catch of the game.
He's got 3 catches this game, eh? That's not bad.
And we can attribute this lead to their ability to convert on third down.
On 28. Cowboy. Goal 19. Can't go left. Hut.
Looking upfield. Number 55 makes the play at the 48. So it's
Yes.
a first down after a nice run right up the middle.
That was a good job by the back who just saw the hole. Boom. He hit it right in there for a few
That was
yards.
Anderson, who just so happens to own the longest pass reception this season so far in the league.
Nice.
Yeah, it's 81 yards.
This one is handed off.
Yeah, normally it's an all Madden player who ends up with that one.
At the 44
Well, I'm
yard
not
line.
saying that he's going to
Back
keep
the
it.
run on
No,
that
somebody else
That
will
just
probably
goes to
post a
show you
longer
that the
one
coach trusts the guy
because
to
it's
hang
still
on to the
pretty
ball.
early in the season too. But
That's a pretty good achievement there.
Changing the play now.
Tiger out. Throw.
Gain. Peyton records the stop at the 44. Gain. Didn't get
not too
any
much
help with his
room
offensive
there.
line.
It was just about impossible to run when you have guys in the backfield just as soon as you snap the ball.
As they get ready for this third down play, we'll take a look at how they've done today.
Third down is when you want your players to dig deep and make a clutch play. When you convert, it gives your defense a little extra rest, and it gives your offense a fresh set of downs to work with.
Looking downfield, scrambling. Takes
Yeah,
off.
McCoy there was covered like a blanket.
Steps out of bounds.
Yep, well, everybody was,
33-yard line.
right? I even looked at the corner route guy, and I looked
They
at
get
the
him in a
flat
third
guy.
down situation. And if they can give him a lane to run
There was
through,
just
he's gonna
nobody
take
there to
it.
throw
Right
the
there,
ball
he
to,
takes it
eh?
for a big first down.
Mike, cover, Mike.
We'll get it again. Sawyer.
Wow, he came
records
up
the
pretty
tackle
quickly
at
there.
the 31. And John is still trying to move the ball on the ground.
Well,
This
that's
is a
Damon
tough
Sawyer
physical
there.
team.
Yeah.
So
Likes
of
to
course
run
he
the
would.
ball in just about any situation. When you can run the ball consistently, it really wears down the interior line, and it helps to slow down those pass rushes.
Calling an audible.
Well, we're just trying to work the clock here a little bit now.
They give it to the halfback. Number 55 gets right in there and brings it
A little
down.
too much non-blocking going on there.
Outstanding defensive play.
He made a name for himself with plays like that. He's one of those guys that every defensive coordinator would love to have on his team. He's smart, he plays with good intensity, and he's a heck of a leader on and off the field.
All
They've
right,
done very well on third down to this point.
this looks like some kind of man coverage.
Keep out.
Throwing. And he hits his target. Spring takes him down.
I haven't thrown a slant in a while.
These guys have
It worked there.
Stop on third down.
Yep.
I'll tell you what, when you're this successful on third down,
And you're chewing up the clock, Yar.
Well, it looked like they were, like basically in complete man lock coverage there.
For the fourth quarter of play.
So I was kind of counting on, like there being nobody in the middle to help there, right? And sure enough, there was nobody in the middle there to help.
Goal 28.
Now that's a funny audible there. Take that guy out of the middle.
Bring it. Bring it. In and out. Come on.
That's okay. I guess if they want to have less bodies in the middle for you to run up the middle.
At the 16.
Yeah, well,
So a pickup of maybe 3.
you never know. A lot of these things that they do, they're trying to set up some kind of a blitz or something like that too, right?
They'll have to get to the 10 to convert.
You know, they tend to play very hyper aggressive.
Set. Goal.
Looks like he's changing
Well, we've
the
run
play.
almost double the amount of plays that they have.
Yep.
Bang.
Calling an audible.
Mike cover. Mike cover.
And hands it off.
John Mike Houston carries the ball up the middle.
How the hell did that happen?
It happened just like this. I audible to this play, and since I didn't have 3 running backs, well, then the wide receiver comes over and lines up in that fullback position, right?
Oh, jeez.
And look at that. He just slips right through that gap there and runs straight ahead. Good job.
10 yards away from the end zone.
The offense has been stepping it up.
Okay, well, we'll pound it at him and see if we can do something here.
Silver, 28.
This one is handed off.
Nope, not this time.
Loss of a couple.
Watch this here. He gets his
But that's the
helmet
luxury
right
of
under
being
his
ahead,
chin.
right? As John would
Takes him
say.
straight to the turf.
Yeah, you can just keep running the ball and running the ball and running the ball whether you have success at it or not.
Well, in that particular case, if this were a closer game, I wouldn't have run on that play. I would have audible to a pass.
And it's on its way. The try is
Because an 11-man line basically equates to weak pass defense most of the time, right?
The visiting team have it all working now as they continue to expand their lead.
That being said, I did take 7.5 minutes off the clock there, so I think it was probably worth it.
Booming kick downfield. From the 1-yard line.
This is one of those situations where they're playing for respect. The game really hasn't gone the way they thought it would, but they have a lot of pride in their team. I'd expect to see them keep fighting until that final whistle.
Let's see them throw an interception, John.
Yeah, you got to keep that streak alive.
Only one man in the backfield. Quick. Lewis with the
Or I
stop.
guess I can hit the running back on a run play.
Yep.
8 to go.
Well, they haven't been scoring very many points, and they're still not scoring very many points.
Under pressure, gets rid of it.
Whoa!
Floyd had his hands
Another
up.
He's
one.
a pretty good
Yeah, and he's a guy that got 2 interceptions in the last game, too.
Then he reads the pass and he makes his move. And he'll drop a few like that.
I guess it's just luck of the draw.
Yep. Have you played that curl flat thing this game?
Couple times.
Closing in.
Oh, that was almost a sack fumble.
Yep.
Incomplete. He almost
I can't believe they didn't rule that a sack fumble.
Pass rush got to him just as he was releasing the ball.
I can't believe they whistled that dead.
He's got to be careful not to throw the ball up for grabs where the defense can
Well, I
pick
guess
it
it's
off.
already, this game is already enough of a mismatch as it is, right?
Here's the kick.
Although I was looking at the player statistics, like how our team matches up to the league average,
Yep.
and actually offensive line is one of the strongest positions on the team, right? So it's really not too surprising that we're able to push these guys around a little bit.
He sees something in the defense. On the ground. Black with the stop.
At least if ratings are to be believed. But that being said, too, I know that I made a number of controversial trades and other draft picks after Season 1 to boost up the strength rating of this offensive line, and we actually had a subpar offensive line for a little while just to wait for those guys to develop some.
Yeah, well, what I've noticed in particular is that these guys don't get pushed backward as much, right?
Yep.
Like that time, that guy just made a move to the inside and beat his guy.
Yeah, you see more of that kind of thing and less of a guy being pushed 5 yards in the backfield.
Yeah.
Whereas with the Crusaders, I just stuck with the original line more or less.
Yeah,
Minus
and,
our Joe Winters draft pick.
Yeah.
They'll go with the quarter defense. Anderson, the motion man.
Well, this doesn't look too promising.
Looking downfield.
They're bringing a blitz from the other side, and I'm just going to run out of bounds.
Out of bounds. At the 42
And that is what
yard
having a mobile quarterback will do for you.
Well, you make much better use of it than I do.
Well, I don't usually scramble too much. Like, I didn't come out intending to scramble on that play even. But, you know, it's kind of nice to be able to when you need to, right?
Okay, here we go.
He'll pass on first down. Throws it.
Trying to get Martin involved in the passing game a little bit now.
And really get him involved.
Yep.
I can't believe he outran that linebacker. He's only got like 70 or 72 speed, eh?
Yep.
He just unloads. Now that's a depleter.
Actually, he had almost a 100-yard receiving game last time.
Well, it is also a game of angles too, right? Even if that linebacker was a faster and more capable player than him, he had an absolutely terrible angle there.
Oh, okay. I guess we're hurrying up here. On 2nd and 9.
Yeah, I know you were probably holding down the button just to do the two hands thing, right?
Yeah, actually. Okay.
Changing the play now.
What are you guys doing out there? Man, oh man.
See, when you do the hurry up offense thing, they'll call an audible every single time you call an audible.
Really?
Yep.
Calling an audible. Looks like he's changing the play.
Okay, well.
Here we come.
Robert. It's loose. It's picked up.
Okay, well, we gained yards on that, so
Yeah,
I guess...
John Mike Houston picked it up.
You always
Yep.
need to be awake out there. You never know when this type of thing is going to happen.
The rushing wide receiver.
Yeah, he came from all the way out wide, too.
Yep.
They're in field goal range.
Mike, cover, Mike.
The defense has had difficulty stopping them on 3rd down. Anderson goes in motion.
Hit it, Gus. Hit it. Lucy. Okay, here we go. Lucy.
Dropping back. Looking for an option. Rolls right.
Oh, who was I throwing that
Other
to?
options appear to be wide
John Mike
open on
Houston.
that play.
Yeah.
Just never saw him.
But he never
He caught it, but, you know, like he wasn't in any position to catch it.
That pass was ridiculously out of bounds.
Yeah, he's probably thinking, like, why the hell did you throw it to me?
Head down to the field for the field goal attempt.
I pressed the wrong button, actually. One of the problems was that I got greedy and I looked to the right there, and actually the guy running the drag over the middle was wide open,
He made
right?
that one easily.
But then when I realized that and decided to go back to it, he was the B button receiver, and I forgot that X is B. Because of these backward-ass controllers. That no one... Oh, see? I told you it was going to happen.
You jinxed it.
This kick goes out of bounds.
Because who is it, Nintendo, that does things ass backwards compared to everybody else?
Or more like
As far as-
Xbox does things ass backwards to Nintendo, but...
Yeah, but if Xbox and PlayStation...
Well, PlayStation
Both
doesn't
do
really
this.
count, though, because they use symbols for theirs. Right? Because instead of having X, Y, A, B, they have, like, square, circle, triangle. And,
Can't bring him down.
square, circle, triangle, and X, yeah. Or cross, I guess is the proper term.
but they still use the proper number of buttons on their controller. You don't have to use a shift
Going to play this one very
button,
tight.
you know, like you do with the...
I mean, around this time, though, you have to realize that the controller layout that we're all used to now had only just been a thing.
Yeah.
Right? It was basically Nintendo making their controller versus Sony making their controller, and then a couple years later, Xbox came along. But I think the PlayStation 2 was released in, I want to say, 1999 or 2000. And, you know, they had only just standardized the 2 analog stick, 4 trigger controller design in the PlayStation, late end of the PlayStation 1 era when they came out with the DualShocks. And then prior to that, it was the no analog stick, 4 trigger, 4 face button configuration versus the Nintendo configuration, which started out as a 4 face button, 2 trigger, and then moved on to a 4 face button, 3 trigger, I guess. right? After the N64 controller was not considered very popular. Or, I guess, was popular, depending on who you ask.
Oh, I don't know. I never had an N64, so...
It's the one with the 3 handles.
I couldn't really say.
Yeah, it had 3 handles, and it had an A button and a B button, and it had a D-pad on the left, and 4 C buttons that were sort of like directional buttons on the right. And then it had a trigger underneath the middle handle, and then 2 triggers on the top, which is where the 3-trigger design comes from. And it was pretty good for shooters, like if you like playing games like GoldenEye and Perfect Dark. And it worked all right for 3D platformers and stuff because they don't really have a particular control layout as a demanding thing that is part of them. But I wouldn't have wanted to play a fighting game on there, for example. And then, sadly, another part of the controller that... Oh, wow. Well, that's Damon Sawyer, though. No, that's not him.
I got hit as I threw. That's why the pass was off target there, right?
Ah.
See, I came in here and I stood in the pocket, but they were bringing pressure.
Yep.
And this guy right here comes along and hits me just as I'm throwing it.
Yep.
Otherwise, that would have been a better thrown pass, right?
Probably, yep.
Let's get back to the play on the field.
But, yeah. And so, it was only just in this generation that we actually standardized the controller layout. And it was basically Nintendo versus PlayStation, and Nintendo lost, and PlayStation won. Although I don't really know if Nintendo quote-unquote lost, because then they proceeded to go and do their own thing with their nunchuck controller and all kinds of other things. Like, they were interested in trying all the gimmicky play controller methods. And in a way, I guess you sort of have to credit them for being willing to be creative, right? And there were some titles on their platform that I'm sure did not exist on other platforms just because of the way that their controllers work, because they went the whole motion control route. But at the same time, yes, we did definitely standardize on a controller layout, and it was the one provided by Sony. And actually, when Microsoft came out a few years later, because first-person shooters were very popular, people actually ended up appreciating the reversed analog D-pad layout, where the Microsoft left analog stick is in the position where the D-pad would be. I never much cared for it, though, because I played a lot of fighting games, and as somebody who liked playing fighting games, you just need to use the D-pad for that. You will... The analog stick is woefully insufficient for that, because what you gain in precision, you lose in accuracy, right? I don't need 65,000 horizontal and 65,000 vertical inputs, because that's the range, total range of analog stick up, down, and left, right. It's 32,000 to each side, right? I need basically instant left, instant right, instant up, instant down, and instant hard down, left, down, right, down, up, left, up, right. Like 100%. I don't need like in between values.
Damn it.
And what I'd say is try doing something like a Shoryuken style input on an analog stick. It's absolutely dreadful.
I don't even want to think about that.
It's absolutely dreadful.
That sounds nightmarish.
Yeah, the forward, down, down, forward type of thing is horrible on a analog stick. And yeah, you know, people use fight sticks, but fight sticks are configured a lot differently than analog sticks are, and the resistance is different, and they've got an internal gate that you can latch onto depending on the shape of gate that you get for your fight stick.
Yeah. Well, back in the Super Nintendo days, I used to actually have a gaming joystick.
Yep.
And it was like a great big, huge, heavy thing made out of steel, and it had a bat-style joystick with a red ball on the top of it, right?
Yep.
And that actually worked okay for inputs like that, what you were just describing.
Yep. Yeah, actually, I played with a fight stick for a number of years too, but ultimately I ended up preferring the D-pad over the fight stick.
Yeah.
Just because, well, probably if I'd had an octagonal gate or a round gate instead of having a square gate in my fight stick, I probably would have appreciated the fight stick a little better. But when I bought my fight stick, there was only the one option to have the square gate, and so I had the square gate, and I guess I could have ordered a third-party gate and taken my fight stick apart and installed the third-party gate, but I didn't.
bring him down at the 26. Number 6 makes a great throw.
And I just been so used to playing with a D-pad most of my life that that was just what I was better at.
Yeah. You see how Houston beat that guy on that hook?
Yep.
Right? See, I even audibled Gaines to block, or the running back to block to the same side, right? And it looks like it's a good thing I had the extra blocking help in there because I wouldn't have been able to throw this pass. But look at how he beats that guy, right?
Yep.
He just comes in and turns him inside out, just like that. Boom.
Well, in any case, going back on controllers, I mean, you gotta appreciate that Nintendo did win up against Sega for their D-pad design, right? Because Nintendo had the cross D-pad on the Super Nintendo, and Sega had the sort of disc-style D-pad, the 8-directional D-pad, similar to the original Xbox D-pad.
Yeah.
And oh god, that original Xbox D-pad was terrible. It was basically a joystick with a D-pad hat on it, rather than a true D-pad. And it felt terrible. But, yeah, you know, and then eventually Microsoft ended up moving on to a cross D-pad because they realized that they were wrong, and then, you know, the only, I guess, company that doesn't stick with the cross D-pad now is Sony, and that's because they stuck with their segmented D-pad design. Although I will say that their recent controllers have been a little bit loose in the D-pad section. I personally say they need to make them a little bit stiffer again, like they used to. Because what ends up happening now is once you work them in, they kind of slide around a little bit inside the controller, and that can make your fingers slip.
I see.
Yeah, whereas with the old D-pads, they were so damn stiff that, yeah, you had to press them pretty hard in order to get them to input, but they never slipped. They were always very reliable. Even on the cheap-ass PS3 controllers, which were so cheap that they flex under input. Right, I'd say the D-pads on PS3 controllers are more reliable than the D-pads on any PS4 controller that I own.
Big hit there. He was run over by
I'm not sure what the hell Roberts was doing there, but he got in my way. You see that?
Yeah, he just kind of went derp.
He just can't figure out what he wants to do after
getting stuck on that guard.
Yeah, because we did get a guy pushed backward a little bit there that he bumped into. But oh well.
It was just a failure in performance.
Yep.
We're just about down to 1 minute.
We're just killing time now anyway. Oh, look at this. They're going to lock everybody all up and give Quincy White a chance to get one more big game before the end of this game.
Lucky! Stay home! Stay home! Razor 2!
I have to say that
Check 2! Check 2! Drill!
Drops back with the pass, and it's
That's a
complete.
touchdown.
yeah, I have to say that I haven't had the same trouble with this team that I did with the Magicians with drop passes, though, even though we're playing with the same slider set. Because I think the lifers in general on offense just have a better class of player, right?
Well, they did start with John Mike Houston, and then we proceeded to draft 2 other players exactly like John Mike Houston, and then they also have amazing hands tight ends.
Yeah.
They don't have a Tony Easley on their team, but they've got 2 guys who are almost as good, and maybe that adds up to something better.
And it's on its way.
Well, almost anybody on the offense that you throw the ball to can catch, right?
Increase their lead. The visiting team are ready to kick.
I couldn't help myself there. I had to score a touchdown because they just were giving it away. It's too bad when they were going to put those kinds of capabilities. I mean, I think they had Randy Moss in this game too, didn't they?
Yep.
And if you've got a player like Randy Moss in the game, why the hell would you play defense against a player who has characteristics similar to Randy Moss, right? Like
why would you play it like that?
Yeah, like why would you play it like that? You would have either a safety back there to help, or you would have 2 guys on that guy all the time, right?
Yep.
You know? You wouldn't just rely on, like, leaving that cornerback out there on an island and hoping for the best, you know?
I think he just hit me in the face with the ball while I was tangled up with a lineman.
He couldn't get to the quarterback. So
Nope, you got your hands up in front of it. Another dropped interception.
I mean, it was the auto put your hands up thing, right?
Yeah.
pressure, looking for
But
a
even if I
receiver
hadn't put my hands up there, he might have hit me in the face there
First
anyways.
down at the 24-yard
Well,
line. The corners move up to
they're
play this one.
gonna keep on going right to the bitter end here.
Drops back, throwing. And he makes the
And hot
grab.
potatoing it.
With the stop.
Oh
At the
boy, that's a
22.
big
And
penalty.
looks like there's a penalty on the play.
I guess
Yard.
somebody must have been out of position there.
Yeah, you don't see that particular penalty called very often.
Didn't show much discipline there.
Especially not in this game where penalties are already not called very often.
The
Yeah.
offense has had trouble moving the sticks on third down so far. Dropping back under pressure.
Hey, look at that sack fumble for
Nothing.
The ball was loose in the backfield, but the offense is able
And
to
hurry
jump on
up
his
after the sack fumble, huh?
See that time? That's a real heads-up play.
He's trying
Wow.
to hurry them back to the line. Close
here he
it.
comes again.
He finds his man.
Well, they made the first
Sandman099 makes the
they
sure play.
made the first down out of it, but
This is Al Michaels with
I think it was more the principle of the thing than anything else.
Yeah.
My God. Talk about trying till the bitter end, eh? I'm surprised they didn't just take a knee a couple of times and run the clock out. I guess it's more fun for you, though, if they keep trying, right?
Well, I might get something that goes on the highlight reel, right?
Yeah. Yeah, like that sack fumble, even though he got it back, but...
That's also characteristic of my defenses, though, because I don't rush enough guys into the backfield to actually pick those up.
Yeah. Well, let's see how we did. Look at the rushing yardage. My God.
Yeah, you did fantastic out there.
Yeah, the running game was cranked up and working today.
And they got flattened.
Yep, they got flattened. And they didn't do much on offense today at all. But look at that possession time, though. It's like Recv5x was playing offense today.
Yep.
Yeah. 19 of 23 for 259 yards. So I still had a pretty good look at that. I didn't quite make 100 yards with gains. 32 rushing attempts. So 23 pass attempts, and that's what is that? That's 44, 45, 46, 47 rushing attempts.
Yeah, you ran over 60 plays in this game.
Yep. And
You just had the ball the entire time, and they didn't run almost anything.
But look at how they controlled even though they tried, they just couldn't control the running game, right? Because they actually did a good job of containing gains, but some of my other guys managed to put together some decent yardage too. Of course, I scrambled for 42 yards as well. But anyway, broken tackles all over the place. Gaines broke tackles. Roberts broke. John Mike Houston broke 2 tackles.
Somehow.
No 20-plus yard runs, though. We had our wide receivers with 5 catches each. Yeah. And Tony Seymour got the sack there at the very end of the game to keep his string alive. Because Greg May got 3 in this one. So it's the linebacker sack attack. No interceptions today, though. You got shut out. Although you did have your opportunities, right? Had 1 punt for 37 yards. So how did Derek Wicks do? He was 14 of 26 for 135 yards. And he got sacked 5 times. And they didn't run the ball hardly at all. Right? That being said, they only had one drop.
And I don't think that we got a ton of knockdowns in this game either.
You did get a fair number, yeah. And look at that, the right outside linebacker with 10 tackles, and Damon Sawyer with 10 tackles, and the free safety with 9 tackles, right? The running game was working today. And 1 sack by the left end. I had one pass knocked down.
Terrible punting average.
Yeah. So there we go. Who's the player of the game today?
Oh, probably Recv5x.
You think so? I don't know. We didn't really have any real tremendous standouts. Gaines got 2 rushing touchdowns in spite of only averaging 2.9 yards per carry.
That's why it's quarterback check.
Yeah, I suppose, eh? Okay, well, let's find out who is the player of the game. It's quarterback check.
Told you.
For a fairly mediocre outing, but, you know, I guess when you complete 82% of your passes, if no one else turns in a really good performance, you're probably going to be the player of the game.
Yep.
Anyway, I guess that's it for another week of football.
Indeed.
Yeah. So until next time.
I'm Recv5.
And I am Sandman099.
Have a good one.